the corner. So I was going everywhere our pastor went. Kim Blackshear, we had to take her, me and Miller Blackshear, had to take Kim. Pastor said, everywhere I look, I see y'all might as well come on and join us, you know. And so I said, good. I told Mother Blackshear, I said, no more sitting. You, when you come, we gonna sit up front in the center, and we gonna get saved. I told her like that, you know. So I went on and got saved, and then Mother Blackshear got saved too. Both of us went to the Pentecostal church. Okay, my husband came home from the post office, and I'm still I'm still speaking in tongues. He thought I was crazy. Huh? Yeah, he thought I was crazy, you know. He said, what's wrong with you? I said, I went to church, and you heard that saying, say, I went to the, one night, and I got filled with the Holy Ghost, and everything now is all right. Mm-hmm. It's a song, something like that, you know. But anyway, that's what I did. I went to South Side of Assembly of God on Phillips Highway. I got filled with the Holy Ghost. Okay, I found out I couldn't stay in the Episcopal Church either. The pastor noticed it, the priest noticed it. My husband never did like the church. He just didn't like the Episcopal Church. He was glad when I decided to leave. But anyway, I had been going to the garage, and cause they were, Sister Bryant's house was right across the street, and they was baptized at Brother Jones' house. Yes. Right across the street from my house. Wow. The center where Pastor would come in when she was in that area was right up around the corner from my house. I remember Joyce White and Brother Overtree and the McCrearys. I remember a lot of them. When I came to Hope Chapel, I knew a lot of people there. Mm-hmm. Besides, Pastor Mama lived right around the corner. Mm-hmm. I had been knowing Pastor and her children, you know, so I knew a lot of people when I first came home. But anyway, get back to how Philip got there now. Cora was visiting, and Philip was at St. Philip's Church too with his mama. His whole family were Episcopalians. So Philip and Cora came to church that Sunday morning with their mother, and they sat. See, in the Episcopal Church, you have pews, and your family, they want the family to sit together, you know. So my uncle, the way I got there, my uncle ran a grocery store, and he said he remember Mount Herman Street. Maybe some of y'all remember where Mount Herman is. Mm-hmm. And he ran a grocery store around there. I'm from Leesburg, Mount Clair.
Leesburg what?
Florida. Oh, Florida. Yeah, Leesburg, Florida. That's this side of St. Augustine, almost to St. Augustine. Okay. And so everybody knows where St. Augustine is. So it's so anyway, that Cora came to church, her and Brother Philip, and they sat, you know, in their little pews. And after church, we all go to I was with the prison ministry. So I call myself preaching. And I would go to the P-Farm. And so I took them to the P-Farm with me. You know, y'all know where the P-Farm is.
Mm-hmm. Over there by
it's out there near the National
Cemetery. Yep.
Out there near the National Cemetery. That's what they called it when I was going out there, the P-Farm, you know. And I remember, and we would go downtown too, to that prison, to the women prison downtown too. I was with the prison ministry before Minister Harris took it over at our church, you know. But anyway, going back to Cora went with us, Philip went with us to the prison. When we come back, we were all, you know, standing out there talking like we usually do, and Cora said, Oh, we had a good time, didn't we? You know, and we always just having a good time because we had to minister to the men out there to the prison farm. And, you know, some of them got happy too, you know. Cora was filled with the Spirit. I was filled with the Spirit then. And Willis was filled with the Spirit. Philip was filled with the Spirit. So we had church too, right there on the sidewalk, you know. And so Cora said, I wish I could find a church, you know, that I could go to while I'm here that's Pentecostal like that. I said, I know, you know. I said, Willie said, I go to Pastor Holmes' church. I said, she started in the garage, and her mother and all the family live right around the corner from me, and I've been knowing her a long time, you know. And so Cora said, well, where is it at? Philip said, yeah, where is it? Philip jumped in too, you know. He was more anxious than Cora was. Because he wanted to find a church that was filled with the Spirit, you know. And so I said, well, it's way out. Because, you know, from where we were on Union Street, that was way out. Wagner Road, that was, I never even heard of Wagner Road. I mean, you know, no more the pastor talking about it. And going out that way, you know. I don't know nothing about it. Right now, I don't know where I am. They told me it was Skinner's Dairy. Any of y'all remember out here?
No.
You remember out here?
I went up in the 70s, almost close to 80. So I remember this area over
Yeah,
there.
right.
Was it all woods?
Years ago, when it used to be Skinner Dairy was out here. It was a dairy farm.
Dairy farm, that's what they
Dairy
are.
farm. Oh.
He sold a lot of his land and everything.
With that cows and stuff?
Great cows. He was, you know, he was a milking farmer.
Oh, I don't know anything about that, but
Wow,
that's awesome. I've never seen a dairy farm, so I don't know, but
So y'all never been out here before either, huh?
I don't think
Well, just like I said, I'm not by myself.
I don't know where I am. My daughter from
I've
so I
been
definitely
out
don't
here
know
before.
where I am.
I don't, well, just like I said,
I
I've been
don't know
here, what? Oh, ever since, oh goodness, I don't know how many years, you know, but I wasn't born in this part of this town. And therefore, when I came to go to college, at business college here, from Leesburg, Davis Street was as far as I went, you know, cause the business college that she had was on Myrtle Avenue. And I worked at down to the Masonic Temple on Broad Street. Y'all, anybody know where the Masonic Temple is? On Broad Street. I worked for Miss Canty, home demonstration lady. I was there, and I worked for Dr. Oh goodness. I worked for 2 lawyers up there at Masonic Temple too. I worked until I had started having children, and they start getting sick. And so my husband told me, he said, you're costing more money than you're making, so you stay home. So I stayed home, but getting back to Philip. So anyway, I said, well, it's way out. If y'all don't mind going out there. They said, no, we don't mind. But see, we had been leaving St. Philip's, the church, and Willis was an usher there, and I was singing the choir, like Philip and I sang in the choir at the Episcopal church. So I would leave the choir, and he would leave usher. We get in the car and head out to Wagner Road, you know.